All right, so it's interesting. I just tried to go live and live stream this, my new EDC carry weapon, and YouTube has changed their parameters on what you need to be able to live stream. They want you to have at least 1,000 subscribers, and I was turned off by YouTube a few years ago, and I just pretty much do lives on Facebook or whatnot. But basically, I haven't done an EDC weapon video in a while. As you know, I used to be a Glock 27 guy. I still love my Glocks, and I ended up picking up a SIG. I still stayed with the 40, you know. And from the reviews that I was seeing on it, what I gather is everybody, you know how they say everybody follows the leader. Everybody is so pro Glock, but the only problems that they had with the SIG is saying that I'm so used to my Glock, I shoot it more, I'm more comfortable with it. It's a little bit more of a follow the leader type of thing that I'm thinking. I'm even a pro Glock guy, but I got to tell you straight out of the box, this SIG is amazing. You know what I mean? Where I had to upgrade my Glock to get it to react how this thing acts right out of the box. And so when you look into people saying Glock versus SIG, or the SIG 320 to be more exact, everybody could not find anything wrong with this other than saying, well, I shoot my Glock more, so I'm more comfortable with it. I just think it's a follow the leader type of thing. You know what I mean? I'm a pro Glock guy myself. But this is my new carry weapon. It's a SIG 320. So first, let's do safety check, right? It is ready to go. You know. So we're gonna get that out the way first. We clear. 40 caliber SIG 320. This is my new carry weapon, you know what I mean? Right out of the box, this thing is ready to go without me having to do anything with it, you know what I mean? It's got front and rear serrations. Actually, the Army just picked this up as their new weapon, you know what I mean? So it's still chambered in 40 caliber, you know. This one here holds 14 rounds of 40 caliber, which I like. I've always been a 40 guy. It's got the Picatinny rail. What I want to show you though, you know, on my Glock, I would have had to get these sent off and put in here. The spring is already really nice, which I had to upgrade my guide rod in my Glock. The sights, as you can see, pretty much your standard sights or whatnot. You know, slide release is ambidextrous, you know, ambidextrous slide release. Your magazine release is basically for right-handed, but you could switch it to the left side. Takedown lever, pretty much self-explanatory. You just kind of, I pull that down. I don't have to squeeze the trigger. It just comes right off like butter, you know what I mean? Another thing that's interesting with this is that if I wanted to change this to a full-size firearm, the firearm is not the frame like the Glock is. The serialized, or the part that they would call the gun, is the internals here. If I take this pin out, I could just pull this whole piece out, put it in a full-size frame, and now I have a full-size. This is the compact version. If I wanted to put it to the subcompact version, same thing. I would just take the serialized internal out and put it inside of a compact frame, and now I have a subcompact or whatnot. Same thing, putting it back together, boom, good to go. You know what I mean? One thing I found interesting is, again, on my Glock, this is what they call a medium-sized grip. It picks up like, if you guys are familiar with 1911, when you hold this, it grips like a 1911. I mean, it's not, to me, Glocks are kind of more like up and down blockish. You know, I found myself when I hold my Glock, I got to kind of, it's more of a, almost like a right angle type of grip where it's like you have to hold it. It's almost not natural. You have to hold it. I almost feel like with my Glock, my wrist has to be this way, tilted this way for the Glock to be straight down range. It's almost like my wrist has to be like this. But with this one, you notice it's more natural. My wrist is more like this forward. And it's more natural with my Glock. Any of those who shoot Glocks, which most of you do, everybody's Glock savvy, which is, I think it's more of the hearsay thing where we heard Glock is good, it must be good. I'm a Glock man. Myself, I'm a Glock man, right? However, I'm replaced it with this. When I hold this, it's just natural. Look how forward my wrist is. With my Glock, I have to kind of be like this because of the angle of the grip. It's already stippled. You know what I mean? I don't need any tape for this, you know. But what really surprised me was the trigger. You know, I want you to see something here. Let me see, how can I do this? Safety check again one more time, because I don't want to, you know, when you're messing with triggers, now, safety check again, right? But I want you to see this trigger. How can I do this where you can see? All right. On my Glock, remind you, I had to upgrade and spend upwards of 100. I think it was about $120 for a new trigger. This one, that's your wall right there. Break, right? Watch the reset. Now I want you to see this close. Watch this reset. That's the reset. Break. Watch the reset. Break. This trigger out of the box is phenomenal. Now, when you practice with this, the guys who know what I'm talking about, when you know where your wall is at on your trigger, you can fire off easy 14 rounds and not even, you know, maybe 2 seconds, maybe 2.3 seconds, 2.9 seconds, when you have a trigger this good right out of the box. I mean, this is amazing. Let me get a different angle. That's the wall. Here's the wall. That's the wall. Right. Watch this reset. That's it. Break. I mean, this trigger here is right out of the box. I don't have to upgrade anything. I think if I did anything with this, it probably would just be maybe some Trigicon sights or something like that. But this is so good out of the box. I feel like I don't have to do anything with this. It's weighted the way I need it to be. A lot of people, I feel, nitpick and they say, well, I don't like the bore height on here, which I think is a little bit too tedious or nitpicky, because if you're a 1911 guy, this should, if you've ever been a 45 guy, this should fit right in your hands. The Glock is a shorter bore height. To me, it makes no difference in your ability to fire. I don't really understand the bore height thing, but to some people, that's their preference. To me, it's pretty much fine. I'm not really paying attention to the bore. I'm paying attention to my sights and where that round is going. You know what I mean? When I'm down, when I'm sending something down range, once I go up, I'm on my sights and I'm pretty much good. The bore thing never was a problem for me. Also on the Glock, you had to put another strap on here to get this beaver tail. This one, you can get all tied up on it and pretty much good to go. So I'm just gonna say, I think I'm a SIG guy now. I didn't like the one that had the hammer on there. This one being a striker fire, I'm pretty much good to go. One thing I will say, to be fair, is, I had the same problem with my Glock though. Even though this is a 13 round mag, I only loaded up to 12, rack one in the chamber and keep it at 13, because when you put that last one in, I fear that once you fire that first shot, I haven't tried this yet because I've always loaded it like that, but I fear that once you fire that first shot, it will not, I don't think it will extract. It's so tight. And I know some people say, well, you need to break it in and blah, blah, blah. But I don't want to be in a position where something happens, I need to use it. I fire the first shot off and it doesn't cycle and I'm stuck dilly-dallying, because I see when I load this to capacity and you try to rack it back, it's so hard. It's like, if it takes that much muscle to rack it back, I wouldn't put my life on the line for that. You know what I mean? But same thing with my Glock. I loaded it one less, you know what I mean, to not put so much stress on the magazine, and I felt the same thing. So I will put that out there. But other than that, the SIG P320 is my new carry weapon, and I'm loving it. You know what I mean? It's still small enough to be compact. You know what I mean? When it's in my holster, this is an inside the waistband holster. I'm pretty much good to go. Oh, this camera angle. I'm pretty much good to go. You know, well, I got that belly, but you know, I'm pretty much good to go. And I got 14 rounds, or I should say 13. 13 rounds of good old nice 40 caliber, baby, with the backup magazine. Other than that, y'all have a nice one, and maybe I'll hit you soon with something else.